Guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a new video. Today it is, in my opinion, the most important day of the week, because in a little bit less than an hour from now we are getting CPI data United States, inflation United States, and this is going to be a pretty important data, and I think the markets will also be very volatile. As of for now, the general consensus is that inflation is coming down a little bit from 3.7 to 3.6, and we're coming off from 3.2, 3.7, so a very slight decrease. Core inflation, general consensus is that we are coming down from 4.3 to 4.1. Difference between core inflation and the regular one is that core inflation doesn't have food and energy, and therefore it's actually also a very important factor. If the inflation, however, still is 3.7 or higher, then I think all the markets, including Bitcoin, are going to take a major dump to the downside, because that will give the Fed enough power and reason to keep on rising the interest rate hike. If we're now looking at the current idea of what traders think will going to happen in a little bit less than 3 weeks from now, then they're thinking that the Fed will not raise the interest rate by 0.25%. More than 91% thinks we are not getting a further rate hike. Of course, again, if the inflation is much higher, then the Fed needs to do something, and then most likely they will rise the interest rates to another 0.25%. I think they were still getting at least one rate hike somewhere this year. With that being said, let's look at Bitcoin, because I do expect quite some volatility. Yesterday I gave you a few trading setups, and you're really getting them on a silver platter lately. I said I will take the short here if we get a bearish retest of the value area low of the range, and look what we had, very precise. We had a bearish retest and then we just dumped down. So congratulations if you took the trade. Don't forget to take some profits, and if I were you, I would move my stop loss above these highs right here. So that was this trade. The second trade that we had was a long from the daily level, and I said actually I don't really like it, but I will put it on anyways, and that is because we had so much liquidity here on the side, and I said that could be a very swift move to the downside, and guess what, that is exactly what happened. We just completely dumped to that daily level, but now you can see that the daily level is acting very nicely as resistance. So yeah, this is just a perfect example of how nicely TA works. So I'm going to take out both of these levels, and what are then now the current trades I'm looking at. Again, if you're already in the short, just keep your short, move your stop loss above these highs. Don't forget to take some profit. If you get stopped out, hey, you get stopped out, we just move on to the next trade. I am not in a long yet, but I am looking for a long. There are two possible scenarios for me. We're coming down and we are going to take the liquidity out of this low, so really an SFP and then higher, or we are just dumping down towards a daily and weekly level at approximately 26k. By the way, this low here is at 26,500. The only problem with that daily and that weekly level is that it is right in an area where we have been talking about as well. There was the second big area of liquidity. This was number one right here that we took out yesterday, and this was that second bigger one area that I'm thinking, nah, yeah, if we're probably going to lose that daily and weekly level or break it, then I think we're just getting a massive wick down to approximately 26k before we are getting anything of a reclaim. So be careful with longing that level, but actually I would prefer now to just take out this low once and then to go higher. I haven't longed yet, and the reason for that was the following. When I looked at market Cipher B yesterday, once we were reaching the low, then I could see actually that the money flow was thick in the red. The momentum wave was just very much down. It just looked very, very ugly. Also, if you look on the 4 hour, you can see the momentum wave deep down. Money flow into the red, momentum wave, sorry, the VWAP and the RSI is pointing down. This just looks super bearish. So I was like, hell no, I'm not touching that at all. I want to see a little bit more confirmation. I want to see stuff clearing up, and then eventually we just went sideways a little bit and went slightly higher. For the shorts, I think we need to change our FIB retracement, because we had a very nice golden park at 78.6 at that very high. Well, I would not want to miss this trade, so I'm just going to change our area a little bit towards the new data, and I would still like this area because it's still then the golden pocket, the 78.6 and the value area high to take a short. So if the news comes out on inflation and suddenly we're getting a big pump, this is definitely an area of interest where I'll be looking to short. We still have these other shorts from higher, but I think we're not going to make it today, because although we're getting a little bit more volatility back into Bitcoin, the moves still have not been super big. There have been approximately 2%. It's enough to make your bread on a daily basis, but it is not really, I think, enough for us to suddenly pump 4, 5, 6% higher based on the inflation, because the consensus is 0.1% higher or lower. I would be very surprised if we're suddenly getting 0.345% higher or lower. That would be way off consensus. So I don't think that will really happen. Something that I have seen already more often than not is that Bitcoin is of course pretty volatile, but that we're then first getting a fake move and that we do something like this, for example. So then maybe first taking that low and then go higher. I will definitely take that long once I see that we're trying to break back up. That's then a confirmed SFP. But it can also of course be the other way around, and therefore I already said if you took this short move, your stop loss here, or at least to entry, is that we're first maybe getting another move up again back to, let's say, the value area low, and then to eventually dump down. So just be prepared for both sides. Don't right away jump the gun if you see one move or the other, that you right away bam open a long or a short, because you know what it is much better to just trade the ranges and avoid the real news trading, because most of the time you're getting wrecked, and it is also comes out of the mouth from someone who have tried this already multiple times, and more often than not I lost a trade. So if you're definitely, if you're a little bit of a beginner or you're new, then just wait it out, let the news pass by, and then go further. One more important thing that I want to say before we're going to wrap it up today. I already talked a few times about open interest. It is still way above 500 million, and I said this is going to get corrected probably sooner than later. So if we are getting a big move up and down, you betcha that longs and shorts are getting wrecked, and then you will see a major decrease here in the open interest. This needs to drop down to approximately 450 to 400 million to get into kind of normal levels. Right now there's just a lot of positions open on both sides. So if we would even get something like a heartbeat kind of idea, that's also something that we have seen already a lot of times. A fake move up, a fake move down, and then sideways. Then I think you can all see the open interest drop tremendously. So just be a little bit careful. I will be behind the charts, but only if I really see something that I like, and if I see something in the candles that I'm thinking that's gonna be it, then I will open a long or a short. But actually, yeah, nothing too special compared to yesterday. Only these two long levels, taking out the low. Maybe this one, but I prefer some a little bit deeper from 26, or the short here again from the very low, or maybe from this golden pocket. Other than that, I think we will not get a bigger move than both of these sides. That will be it for now, guys. If you like the content, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends if you think this is useful. Also feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Both of those links you'll find in the description. Be careful today with trading, and see you guys very soon again in the next one. Bye bye.